Serena Williams has become an icon of resilience, strength, and beauty. She has won 23 major single titles, the most ever by any man or woman. She was ranked #1 on 8 separate occasions between 2002 and 2017. With 39 Grand Slam titles, Williams holds the record for the most titles in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles amongst all active tennis players combined. She is a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Even with her accomplishments, critics were quick to dismiss her being the greatest tennis player. In fact, that's been the narrative throughout her professional career. Skeptics were always willing to bring her down. No matter what they nitpick about her, Serena does not let it get in her way of achieving greatness on and off the court. Even with the incredible amount of success throughout the years, Williams had an overwhelming number of obstacles to overcome professionally and personally.
I have to thank Jehovah God for this. I was down and out, and He helped me today, and I just said prayers, and just not to win, but to be strong and to be healthy. And you know, in the end, I was able to come through, so I have to give glory to Him first and foremost. You know, growing up, I grew up, I wasn't the richest, but I had a rich family in spirit and in support. And, you know, standing here with 19 championships is something I never thought would happen. You know, I went on the courts with just a ball and a racket and a hope, and that's all I had. And it's inspiring for all you guys out there that want to do something and want to be the best that you can be and want to do the best that you can do. You just never give up, because you never know what can happen. You never know who you can inspire and who you can influence. So I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be here tonight and to hold this 19th trophy and to have it done in front of one of my favorite stadiums, my favorite stadium. You guys really support me every year I come, no matter what. I love you guys so much, and I cannot thank you enough for the support that you continually give me every year. So thank you so much to the crowd.
Well, congratulations.
But it's okay. Yes, thank you.
It really
Thank
is
you.
okay. When you heard the news, were you excited? Were you afraid? Were you worried that you were pregnant, I mean?
So I heard it 2 days before the beginning of the Australian Open, which is one of the biggest Grand Slams.
You found out 2 days before?
Yes, it was
Wow.
2 days before, and I knew I was nervous. I wasn't quite sure what to think, but I just knew that at that moment it was really important for me to just focus right there at the Australian Open. And you know, I was definitely not sure what, you know, to do. It was like, can I play? You know, I know it's very dangerous maybe sometimes in the first 12 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of questions.
But not only did you play, Ms. Williams, you won. Not only did you play, you won. Did you play differently that game, knowing you were pregnant?
I did. It wasn't very easy. You hear all these stories about people when they're pregnant, they get sick, and you know
Have you had
they
morning
get
sickness?
tired. No, I've
Okay.
been so fortunate, and so I haven't. So, but they get really tired and they get really, you know, stressed out, and I had to really take all that energy, put it in a paper bag, so to say, and throw it away, because I really felt like I didn't have time to deal with any extra emotions, anything, because pregnant or not, no one knew, and I was supposed to win that tournament, as I am. Every tournament that I show up, I am expected to win, and if I don't win, it's actually much bigger news.
Yeah, when you don't win, that's a big story.
Yes,
Yeah.
so for me, I had to really take anything negative and any emotions that I was feeling at that point and kind of just bottle them up and really figure out what the next step for me to do was.
No, listen, you have a lot of support, you have a lot of love. Even when I was coming here, people stopped me at the airport. I was saying to the flight attendant and the pilot, guess where I'm going? They said, oh my God, we're so glad she's pregnant. But then you always have these cranky Yankees. On the way over here, somebody was telling me about Elena Stasi, who said some very unkind, inappropriate, dare I say, racial things. You have responded to him. What did you say? I'm not even going to dignify what he said, but you responded. Why did you respond?
Well, I think there were very inappropriate comments, and not only that, I've been really supportive of my peers and the people that I work with for, I've been a pro for almost 20 years, and so for me, it's really important to hold women up, and it's something that these young women, they'll come to the locker room, they'll want to take pictures with me, and for me, it's just like I want to be able to be a good leader and a good example for them. So not only not only did he have rude things to say about me and my peers, I felt it was important for us to stand up for each other and to stand up for myself. And at that point, it was really important for me to say, like, I'm not afraid, I'm not going anywhere, but it's, this is inappropriate. And there's a time and there's a place for everything. And that really wasn't the time and the place. I feel like winning for me is super addictive. I feel like once you experience it, you always want to get that feeling again. And when I won my first championship, I was only 17 years old, but I never forgot that feeling. And I feel like every time I win one, I want to reach that feeling of your first championship. There's really no feeling in the world like that.
Like it?
Yeah, and it's like all these years of training and being a little kid and playing and then winning is just a wonderful experience. So for me, I've always felt like I loved that feeling. And obviously, I don't like the feeling of losing. I feel like...
No, in fact, people close to you say you're a very bad loser.
I'm not the best loser.
But you're very, very, very bad. Listen,
bad.
no athlete, no champion likes to lose. I get that. But they say when it comes to losing, you are very, very, very bad at it.
Playing Venus is like playing myself, because we grew up playing each other. We grew up practicing together. And it was something it's been difficult, because she's my toughest opponent. She's tall, she's fast, she hits hard like me, she serves like me. It's really like playing a wall.
She knows you.
And but she knows where I'm hitting the ball before I hit it, so it's something that is not very easy, but it's really about, when I go out there, I really have to shut down my mind, and I have to say to myself, you know what, I'm just playing a great player, but today I have to be better. I don't care who it is, if it's my sister, if it's my friend. Today is the day I have to show up and I have to be better, and I have to want it more than anyone else at this moment anywhere on this world. Always have this incredible respect for each other and this incredible love. And I think it's important for people to realize you can be successful, but you can still have a wonderful relationship. On the court, we are mortal enemies, but the second we shake hands, we are best friends again. And
I know you learn a lot from winning, but what have you learned from losing?
I hate to lose, but I think losing has brought me to here today. It's the only reason I am who I am is because of my losses. And some of them are extremely painful, but I wouldn't take any of them away, because every time I lose, it takes a really long time for me to lose again, because I learned so much from it. And I think I encourage everyone that I talk to, I'm like, listen, if you lose or if something happens, not in sports, in business or in school, learn from it. Don't live in the past, live in the present, and don't make the same mistakes in the future. And that's something that I always try to live by.
Well, I know now you're planning a wedding, and I want to know, what should we wear? Is it a destination wedding in the Catskills or Poconos, or are you going to do in Florida? What are you thinking? Big or small?
We're thinking medium size. We don't want to do too big, but then we're like, okay, we can't say no to this person. So we're thinking medium size, and we're just thinking, my personality is a lot of fun. Hopefully you can see that a little bit today. I'm not too serious.
And you like to dance.
A lot of fun things.
And the next chapter for Serena Williams is what?
Oh, next for me.
And then we're done.
Obviously, I'm going to have a baby, and I'm going to stay fit and kind of come back and play tennis and keep working on my fashion line. That'd be really fun.
Do you know if it's a boy or girl?
I don't. I have a feeling of one or the other, because
okay.
It's a 50-50 chance, but I have a feeling.
Gail is a unisex name. Whatever you and Alexis decide, we are cheering you on. You're welcome. We are cheering you on, Serena Williams.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I would really like to thank Sports Illustrated for recognizing me, not just as sportswoman or sports of the year, but just sports person of the year. And of course, for me, none of this would not be possible without Jehovah God giving me the strength to do what I do every day, and for waking me up every day. And again, just thank you, Mom, Isha, Lynn, everyone who's not here, because none of this would exist without you. And I know I don't say thank you enough, but thank you for being my sisters. Thank you for being my mom, even though you look like my sister. And sometimes I get angry when they say, is that your sister? But that means hopefully I'll look good when I'm a little older, when I'm 40, like you. See, I didn't mention any age. You see that? If I did, I went younger, you know. I truly love you more than words can ever be able to ever express. Also, this is a team. I would like to take a special moment to thank Jill for always being there, never giving up on me. Being with me through thick and thin, no matter how many times I forget to thank you on Stadium Court, and I thank everybody but Jill, who does everything for me. Oops, I'm a little clumsy. So thank you, Jill, for absolutely everything you've always done for me. I'm so grateful. And everyone here tonight that is always behind me, Grant, Nana, for those moments I called you in tears every night. Grant, even though we have our fights, I just want to thank you for all the patience and perseverance, and I thank you from the depths of my soul. When I first learned that I would be sports person of the year, I could not believe it. It had been over 30 years since the last time an SI had recognized a woman for being sports person of the year. I think that was Mary Decker, to be exact. So for all the ladies out there, yes, we can do it. When I first started playing tennis, women weren't really encouraged to play sports, let alone excel in sports. So my hope by winning this award can inspire many, many, many more women in less than 30 years, of course, to stand right here on this podium and accept another sports person of the year. So yes, ladies, it can be done. In 1984 in Compton is where I began my journey of becoming a tennis player on beaten down courts with my family by my side. My first goal, as Zena said, was to win the US Open. Now, what you don't know, my first goal was to win Wimbledon, but what you don't know is I said I wanted to win Wimbledon because Venus said she wanted to win Wimbledon, and then my dad yelled at me. He's like, Serena, stop copying Venus, because I copied her way too much. And so I said, okay, I want to win the US Open. And so that's how that kind of came about. So I truly feel that day changed my life, and now I had a goal to begin to work, and I began to work towards that goal. And I believe that one day I would stand on that court and hold that winner's trophy. And now I guess 30 years later, I still have goals and I still have dreams of winning. And this award makes me actually want to work harder to reach more goals. So I don't know if that's weird or not, but I want to get off here and just go home and start training because this is so awesome. I have to tell each and every one of you that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, your age, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And the reason that I always say that, because I didn't grow up with things being handed to me. I had to work hard, I had to dedicate myself, and I had to be determined, and I was. Even outside of sport, it could be education, it could be business, it could be anything. It requires discipline and hard work and determination, and most importantly, it requires self-belief, because like me, some people might not believe in you, but you have to believe in you, and sometimes you're going to be your own cheerleader, and you have to be your biggest and your best cheerleader. So to all you young athletes, take that to heart and never stop believing in yourself, and really always support who you are. The ride for me was not and has not been easy, and maybe your ride won't be easy either, but I'm not standing here because I just kind of cruised on, but I've had my shares of ups and downs. I've had many struggles. I've had blood clots in both my lungs at the same time, and I lived through tragedies and controversies, but I've had people look down on me. I've had people put me down because I didn't look like them. I look stronger. I've had people look past me because of the color of my skin. I've had people overlook me because I was a woman. I had critics say I will never win another Grand Slam when I was only at number 7, and now here I stand today with 21 Grand Slam titles, and I'm still going. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me with the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Just like moon and suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes and springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops weakened by my soulful cries. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. From a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into the daybreak that's wonderfully clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I rise. I am the dream and the hope of a slave, I rise. I rise, I rise.
Serena is very comfortable in her skin because her mother made sure she raised her daughters to know they're beautiful and strong women. As a powerful woman of color in the world of tennis, she was not the norm. Critics did not hold back to let her know. They have depicted her in unimaginable ways, commenting on her skin, body, and features, often conveying that she should play men's tennis. She's been tested for performance-enhancing drugs more than twice as often as her peers. With the increased amount of spotlight, Serena used it to become an advocate. Though Serena never set out to be a role model, she is an aspiration for millions. Those closest to her say she is simply being herself. Staying true to herself was key. She never gave up, and those are the actions that made people realize Serena is a warrior. With her platform, she's very vocal about equality for women and people of color, as she is both. She is a vocal advocate of the Black Lives Matter movement before the movement went national. In 2015, she wrote a piece in Wired magazine encouraging Black Lives Matter activists not to get discouraged. She's also praised those who have fought for social justice, such as Colin Kaepernick. For over a decade, she's been pushing for equal pay for women in tennis and other fields. In 2017, Serena Williams broke down why the gender pay gap hits Black women the hardest in a powerful essay for Fortune. She wrote, "The cycles of poverty, discrimination, and sexism are much, much harder to break than the record for Grand Slam titles. For every Black woman that rises through the ranks to a position of power, there are too many others who are still struggling."
And we have to use our voice, and we have to deserve the same treatment as everyone else.
At an early age, Serena's athletic build. Her sister spoke about how Serena was naturally gifted with an athlete's body since the age of 3. Being naturally gifted isn't enough. Serena worked hard to hone her skills. Some critics don't understand being gifted will not make you a champion, so they often put down Serena's build. Body shamers have never taken Serena down. It only made her work harder. She's been driven since she was a child, and there was no way she was going to give up due to criticism. In fact, it fueled her more.
Those are eyes of a determined young lady.
On October 28, 1995, at the age of 14, Serena made her pro debut in the qualifying draw at the Bell Challenge in Quebec, where she lost in less than an hour. Initially, her parents didn't want her to go pro until she was 16. Serena was determined to test out her skills against others. Unfortunately, Serena lost many matches. Tennis legend Nick Bollettieri recalled, "From the years I traveled with the Williams family and they came to my camps, the story I most remember is Serena sitting in the shade in my stadium court, head down, so upset. She said, 'Nick, I'm tired of coming in second place.'" With a stronger fire, Serena started winning. At age 16, Serena and partner Max Mirny won the mixed doubles title at Wimbledon, and again 2 months later at the US Open. Serena also won her first professional title in doubles in Oklahoma City with Venus. Serena and Venus won 2 more doubles titles together during the year. Williams finished the year ranked number 20 in singles from last year's 99th place. Ever since she was young, Serena had great confidence in herself. She often said she could easily beat male tennis players. She tried doing so in 1998 at age 16. Though she lost, she showed great spirits, challenging the norm. On September 11, 1999, at only 17, Serena won her first Grand Slam title at the US Open.
The number 7 seed is the 1999 U.S. Open Women's Champion.
She made history being the first African-American woman to win a major in the Open era. The win put her into 4th place. The media took more interest in Serena, putting her on the cover of Sports Illustrated. In 2001, the Williams sisters vowed never to play at Indian Wells after an incident. Venus was set to play a semi-final against Kim Clijsters but dropped out due to injury. The crowd acted especially rowdy and greeted Serena with jeers.
A crescendo of boos for Serena Williams.
As much as the sisters who can play tennis at such a high caliber were a sensation in the tennis world, they were also a rarity. Thus, many suspected their father of match fixing. No matter what comes her way, she will never give up. Serena Williams' legacy is still being written.
Our champion legendary.